Hello, I'm Shawn Kenney, and I want to start a little series on Baldurs Gate. This is a classic from 1998. This is the Enhanced Edition. It was recently on a Steam sale. Great little game from a small little development company you may have heard of called BioWare. Well, they were small back in the day. Apparently, the owners, while working on this game, were also working their day jobs as medical doctors. So, you know, this is this game pretty much started the rise of BioWare as far as role-playing games. It's based on Dungeons and Dragons, and it's based on the Dungeons and Dragons second edition advanced rules. So there's going to be a few things that, if you're not familiar with earlier versions of Dungeons and Dragons, are concepts that are pretty darn weird. I'll do my best to explain them. I remember those days. Well, heck, I even remember the days when there was red boxes and blue boxes. Then they updated it to the basically a THACO system, which revolved around trying to hit armor class 0. It's kind of a weird thing to explain, and when we get into the stats, I'll try and go into it in a little more depth. What I thought I'd do, though, is just try playing through. Now, before I usually played Baldur's Gate, I usually imported like a whole team of people I wanted to play with. I'm just going to do this one straight. I think we'll roll our own character, but I'm going to just pick up the companions along the way and really follow along the story. It's been so many years since I played this, it'll almost be like playing it fresh, I'm hoping. So, we'll get right into some character creation here. Now, I was sort of debating on what to play, whether I want to go cleric or maybe like a range character that uses a longbow, like either a ranger or a fighter. Fighters are pretty good, are really quite good with bows as well. And in this game, a lot of range definitely does help. But being a cleric sort of ensures that I'm always going to have some heals handy. So I'm still pretty torn. I don't know, I might just have to flip a coin here at some point if we get too far. So, and I have to make a decision. But first of all, I guess we'll select our portraits here. These are all the classic portraits that were in the game. It's I'm guessing the enhanced that there's supposed to be some. Yeah, these are some new ones, I believe. Now a few new ones. Well, what are we gonna make? I guess we really have to decide on who we're gonna be. Oh, well, let's try a cleric, I think. Oh, it's Minsk and Boo. Go for the eyes, Boo. If you ever heard that, this is the game where that comes from. Sure. He seems pretty cool. We can be when you're selecting your race, there's each of the races have various stats, bonuses, usually some pluses and minuses. Say, for example, elves have 90% resistance to charm and sleep magic. They have infravision. +1 to THACO. This is one of those terms that you're going to see a lot in Baldur's Gate, this era of Dungeons and Dragons. So this is before the era of D20, and what it was is to hit armor class 0. So a +1 THACO is basically like a +2 hit. So that's if they're using bows or long swords. They get a +1 dexterity and -1 constitution. Half elves, say for example, they have like a few of the bonuses, but they're only 30% resistance to charm and sleep, and they only have infravision. They have no stats modifications. Gnomes have their own set of stuff, I guess, about rods, staff, wands, and I think we're just going to go with a straight up human. They're pretty handy. I don't think I'm not going to be doing any dual classing, but they are really good for that if that's what you want to do. Which the game fully supports all sort of the classic multi-class and cross-class from the older rule set. So I figure let's go with a cleric. So what options do we have? Just a basic cleric, a priest of Talos that may cast lightning bolt once per day for every 5 levels. Oh, that's pretty cool. A storm shield. Priest of Helm, you can do true sight. Okay. May cast seeking sword. Okay, I mean that's +4 weapon. I guess that's pretty cool. Alignment restricted to neutral, and these have to be good. It may cast hold undead and boon. You know what? I'm just gonna go with a straight up cleric. I understand it a little bit better. Will be a good one, I guess. Chaotic good, maybe. Yeah. Why not? Alright, so now you get to your ability screen, so we got to roll our character. Now, one thing about this game is you do want to roll and re-roll, and then store your best re-roll, and then try re-rolling again, because you do... this is a tough game, and one of the things that really help out is if you have some really good stats. So what I really want to get is some decent wisdom, a little bit of charisma. Now, I can sort of modify them around as well, so I could take points, say, from dexterity and put them to constitution. Well, what we're looking for is just some pretty darn good stats to start out with. And you can just keep re-rolling all you want. I see an 18 in there, but that with a 7. I see I'm looking for maybe some nice balanced... That's not too bad, actually. An 18 wisdom. I can't raise it any higher than 18. Well, I don't know if I want to... I'll store it for now, and we'll re-roll a few times. See, that might even be a bit higher, though, right? I think... I don't really need a whole lot intelligence, but we can bump up the wisdom. A little bit of charisma. It's pretty solid. I'll actually store that one. And that might be better. I'm thinking this is going to be a good one. So if I don't need a whole lot of skills. I think maybe one for strength, one for that. Alright, you know what, I'm pretty happy with it. We should be a pretty good cleric this way with this set of skills, so let's go ahead there. Now, one thing when you're using with weapons in Baldur's Gate is you really only can use the weapons that you have proficiencies for. Otherwise, you get some like really nasty negative ability modifiers, and it sucks. So basically, what can I get? I can get warhammers, clubs, flail, morningstar, mace, sling. Well, I always do like getting sling, sword and shield style single weapon. I'm guessing probably want to be like a sword and shield style. To get, some benefits of shields, but I only have 2 points. So I'm thinking one of any of these is pretty much going to be good, either mace or flail. It sort of depends on what I'm going to end up getting. If I split it up, I have a better chance of having a weapon drop that I can use really well. Or I can sort of, spread them out. I only have a couple points. Actually, I may. Yeah, okay. Well, never mind. I can only put 1 point into each one. So let's do it this way. I also wouldn't mind putting some in sling, because having range weapons is pretty handy. Let's do it like that. Okay. So what do I want to memorize? Well, I tend to memorize just a lot of... Okay, well, we have our Cure Light Wounds. Doom, that's like a debuff. They'll get like a -2 penalty to all their rolls. Command in this game is actually really quite good. It sort of knocks one out. It's kind of a crowd control. So that's pretty darn handy. What else? That's sort of like makes a magic weapon. So there's all kinds of stuff you can do. Magic stones, another popular one. It sort of gives you a pebble. I could just throw the pebbles and then do some decent damage. Armor of Faith is another good one. Detect evil. Protection from evil. Bless. I'm going to go with Bless because that is that's a group buff. So I think that's good to start with. Alright. So we got all the customization options in the world. We can choose the hair. You could have blue hair if I wanted, which I don't really want. Is that kind of looking like the picture with some maybe red highlights? Sure, why not? Maybe that's more of a blue. Ooh. I don't know if okay, we're done. Okay, that'll work. And we get to give him a female voice if we want.
Death to you all!
As it should be.
Your life?
I alone belong here.
Time for...
I'll need to be resting soon.
You got this coming! Nobody else is gonna... Ready for that nap anytime now.
Oh, he sounds kind of funny.
You got this coming! Nobody else is gonna step up. What?
Yeah, why not? Alright. Oh. What am I gonna call him? Well. I always hate this part. We'll call him the Cleric. Fine. Super original, I know. Alright, let's start.
Nestled atop the cliffs that rise from the Sword Coast, the citadel of Candlekeep houses the finest and most comprehensive collection of writings on the face of Farron.
Ooh.
It is an imposing fortress, kept in strict isolation from the intrigues that occasionally plague the rest of the Forgotten Realms. It is secluded, highly regimented, and it is home. Within these hallowed halls of knowledge, your story begins. You have spent most of your 20 years of life within this keep's austere walls, under the tutelage of the sage Gorion. Acting as your father, he has raised you on 1,000 tales of heroes and monsters, lovers and infidels, battles and tragedies. However, one story was always left untold, that of your true heritage. You have been told that you are an orphan, but your past is largely unknown. Lately, Gorion has been growing distant from you, as if some grave matter weighs heavily on his heart. You have asked about his concerns as gently as possible, but your queries have been in vain. Your sole comfort is the knowledge that he is a wise man, and you know he will tell you when the time is right. Nonetheless, his silence is troubling, and you cannot help but feel that something is terribly wrong. Today, Gorion has appeared more agitated than ever, and now he has uncharacteristically interrupted your chores in the middle of the day, imparting hurried instructions for you to equip yourself for travel. He has handed you what gold he can spare, but given no clue as to why. Nevertheless, you now stand before the Candlekeep Inn, ready to purchase what you need for an unplanned and